Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakwakadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in truth, sincerity. And we're going to jump right into the lesson. It says, what then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So the election, the remnant, let's get that little footnote if it comes up, the elect have obtained it. Obtained what? The understanding of this truth, the sealing, the knowledge, the proper name of the Lord, the spirit of faith, the spirit of commitment and of doing works. That's what the election have obtained it. That's what the election have obtained, Salakia. And the rest were blinded. They were blinded to that which would lead them into salvation, but they were hardened against it because salvation is not for them. And that's what you call, in the scriptures, the doctrine of predestination. Because the election or the elect were men that the Lord chose from the very beginning, the very foundation of the earth, for salvation, for to be, if you want, so-called defenders of the faith, to be a remnant, to be a stronghold throughout all the ages of wickedness of mankind. So the election have obtained it, man. The elect have let's get that word obtained. Hold up. Doesn't look like it has a definition. Anyways, the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. I'm gonna get a definition anyways. It's a definition for the word obtain in the Webster's 1828. It says gain, procure, acquired. They have gained it, they acquired it. It was acquired, it was given to him by the Lord. This is the gift of faith that the scripture is talking about. So going back to the scriptures. So going back to Romans 11 and 7 again, it says, according as written, going to verse 8, according as it is written, Yahweh has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. So when a scoffer, a scorner, or an individual hears about this truth and doesn't get it or accept it or understand it or scoffs against it or scorns against it, then and if he's an Israelite, or even if he's not an Israelite, that lack of understanding, that lack of us seeing that which is there, that spirit of slumber was given to him by the Lord. Because as it says here in verse 7, it's only for the elect to obtain, only for the elect to acquire. It's only for the elect to get a hold of. It says in verse 9, it says, David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. So that's what the snare, that's what this truth is to those that are not chosen or those that are not selected to receive it. It is a snare, a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense and a payback unto them for their wickedness. That payback meaning that they will not attain salvation. They will die the second death, man, which are the nuclear missiles. If I'm not mistaken, go ahead and get that. This is Revelation 2 and 11. It says, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says in the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. You know, they're going to escape the nuclear missiles. They're going to escape the laser beams of the chariots. And those that had not received this truth, were not selected to acquire this truth, they're going to receive that second death, which is the ICBMs and the fire beams, laser beams from the chariots of the Lord. You know, so this truth is not for everybody, man. That's why there's so much opposition against it, because it shows you that seeing so much opposition against the truth shows you that it's not for everybody. Seeing so much opposition against the truth, especially this day and age, and it's increasing, shows you that the remnant, the elect, have obtained it already, and the time of sealing is here. You know, so because we're moving into times of urgent prophecy. So these are just signs to let us know that, hey, it's almost over with. So let's get ahead of a few more scripture. Let's get Matthew the 9th chapter. This is Matthew 9, it says 36. Also verse 35. Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But he saw the multitudes. He was moved with compassion on them because they fainted. They were scattered abroad, the sheep having no shepherd. And that's what's going to happen in the time of the famine of the Lord. You know, the sheep, which is Israel, they're not going to have no shepherd, no one to guide them or teach them, that they've already been marked for destruction. Then he says to his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of harvest, that you send for laborers into the harvest. And we are those laborers that have been sent into the harvest to preach his word to the elect, to seal them. That's the Lord showing compassion on the elect, man. And the 1/3, those that have been chosen to believe. Because the scriptures talk about the elect, 144,000, 12,000 men for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. And it speaks about the 1/3 or the great multitude. You know, this is going to be basically the confusion of face of all the different nations upon the earth, man. So this just truth is not for everybody, man. And even that 1/3, even though it says a great multitude, that in itself is a small number compared to the sands of the sea number of the house of Israel in total. So there's going to be more Israelites dead than there is going to be saved. A very small sliver. You ever look at the Great Millstone pie chart, and you see that sliver of the 1/3, and it's very small compared to the rest of Israel, man. So this truth is only for those that the Lord has called to receive it. Let's get Isaiah the 5th chapter. Because once the elect are sealed, ultimately the Lord's gonna start he's gonna start the famine of the word, and basically that's an abandonment of the rest of Israel. Meaning there's not gonna be no opportunity for anybody to hear the word, because the word has been preached, and those that were destined to hear it have heard it already, and those that have destined to receive it have received it already. So the Lord's just gonna take away the laborers, man. He's gonna take away the preachers and the apostles, the prophets. You know, many brothers had dreams where the Apostle Hart gave decree to stop teaching on the streets. You know, because there's going to be draconian laws and measures that's going to be put forth to stop this truth from being spoken. But let's get Isaiah 5:5. So now go to it, and I will tell you what I will do in my vineyard. I will take away the hedge of which be eaten up, and break down the wall of which be trodden down. Now this happened, you know, when the ancient days, and it's going to happen again. 2/3 of our people are going to be left for the sword of Esau. They're going to be left to be eaten up. They're going to be left to be trodden down, which is symbolic of basically destruction. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned or digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will cause to command the clouds and the rain, and that the rain and no rain upon it. That speaks of a very troubled time, or a very troubled season, which is going to what we call Jacob's trouble. You know, you can liken it into that. It says, for the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel. The man of Judah has pleasant plant, and he looked for judgment, behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. So that's you know, it's going to be a season of unprotection. That's what Jacob's trouble is for the 2/3. They're going to be left by to the whims and the violence of Esau, Edom, and that's going to be the vengeance of the Lord upon them. So this is the time that we're coming in, man. We're coming to a time where the Lord's going to take away the opportunity to hear this word, man. Let's get a few more scriptures. Micah, the 3rd chapter. And we'll start at verse 4. So then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will hide his face from them at the time as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. The 2/3 are going to ultimately see this time of Jacob's trouble. They're going to be crying to the Lord, but the Lord has already numbered them for destruction. So thus say the Lord concerning the prophets that made my people err. You know, that those are, and he has those right now. He has IUICs, and all these other false camps. You know, IUIC is just the major one that does the most false teaching. So thus here the Lord strengthen the proud to make my people hear, that bite with their teeth and cry, peace and he that putteth not into their mouth, that he prepare war against them. Therefore night shall be unto you that shall not have a vision, that shall be dark unto you that shall not divine. The sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. So because these are false teachers, when these things start happening, they're not going to have nothing to say. They're not going to have any answers to tell their congregations. You know, and it's going to cause a lot of havoc, a lot of dismay, a lot of frustration, a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth, man. You know, that time is coming. We're coming into that time. We're coming to the time of famine of the word. We're coming to the time of Jacob's trouble. We're coming to the time where the Lord's going to basically seal his elect, and prophecy is going to move forward. This is Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, says the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Most High. They shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro, seek the word of the Lord, and they shall not find it. In the days shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. They that swear by the sin of Samaria. Well, basically that's what it is. That's the point. You know, the Lord's going to take away the hearing of the word, and in that time of trouble, you know, they're going to be looking for it. What does it say in the book of Proverbs? He's gonna laugh at your calamity, mock you when your fear comes. That's going to be the Lord's attitude, or the Lord's spirit towards Israel, 2/3 of Israel in that day. But with that being said, it's a real quick lesson here at the plantation. Most I want to hope is edifying. With that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.